Okay, so we took a little bit of time with that, but let's see if I can scoot things along by considering a very important detail. Each of you saw the others in the vision. Each of you saw that there was other people there, and you saw them in your space, so you didn't see the poetry celebration.
No.
You saw them in your kitchen, and also in states of horror and fear.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So so all of you saw each other and don't really know each other particularly, but there's no way you will ever forget the others.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something to keep in mind. You wanted to go off to this would be the folkloric. No, Neo-Kanetian, yeah, okay. So this is going to be that new temple near the governor's, in the governor's district, right? And then was someone else going, no, you were busy being tended to, and you have, what will you do next?
I would like to collect myself and then do my poem,
Okay.
my reading at the end. It will probably not be the best, but hopefully I can push through and then I can finally.
Well, as long as you are according with your, if you're acting within your authority and inside expectations, then there is no role. You guys get that stuff done. You know, you're good at it. You've already demonstrated in your lives you're good at it. You're not operating against anybody when you do that. So you can. What will you do about any of this afterward? You're just going to kind of put it behind you and say that was a bad moment, bad coffee, or what?
No, I think I'm going to take this quite seriously. Because I do not understand the vision, and it terrified me. But it has to mean something, and I'm worried that it's a very bad omen for our city and our culture. Perhaps something horrible is going to happen in the future. Who knows? And I'm not really sure who I should talk to. And I feel like I can't talk to my friends at the place. I think I would.
They seem maybe a little shallow to you at the moment, anyway, right? Might imagine, anyway.
So I think I keep thinking about the other persons I saw in the vision. And well, I don't immediately recognize them, I guess.
Not at the personal level, no. There's also this, the place you saw. And although you were not familiar with the place that you saw, it's could easily be part of the city. I mean, there's lots of places that look like old shrines and stuff like that around the city.
Perhaps I should go to my own temple and see if there is an elder or someone I could ask about that place.
Right. Well, the Orthodox Almist temples are pretty nice. They're old and battered now and look a little well used, and maybe they could use a wash, but they are the when people come to the holy city, if tourists come to the holy city, they want to see those. Right. So certainly, imagine almost a cathedral level kind of place in your case. And then that brings us, let's see. So when you kind of recover, what's your plan?
I don't know, I need to rest, I think. I go to my tent. I need to think about what I saw, what could it possibly mean. Maybe do some sort of rite for myself.
Get back to work or not?
No.
No, okay.
Because I'm embarrassed. I don't want to show myself up.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'll try to be alone.
Well, you just might find yourself in the middle of a battle tomorrow, wanting to be alone. So, I feel like being alone. Here, hold this spear. Okay.
Yeah, I'm alone for now.
I kind of like the idea of you standing there with the other spearmen, and they're all like looking like this, and you're like,
yes, coffee house. That's the thing.
aha. Oh, right.
Yes.
Probably one
we
of the
need
new
house.
coffee houses.
What?
Yeah, a new coffee house.
Yes.
This is new, right?
To the whole city. I need to, after the trade with the caravan, go to really speak hard with my father.
Mm.
We need to invest coffee houses in the city, stabilize.
Well, to do that, we will have to negotiate an investment from. We can certainly put in our piece of the investment, and then we can, because this is consistent with what you had talked with him about, and
Yes.
Yusuf is, he's behind this now, and you handled that whole situation great. He got worried for a second there, but you did fine. Doesn't even notice to him. It was like, I don't know, she got stage fright for a second, but I guess that happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And then certainly the time that the vision took does not match the time that everyone else perceived. Now, well, in that case, yes, you're doing something a little bit off-brand, so we are going to have to deal with some charm. And let's get a good look at this. This is going to have to definitely be with. Is it going to be the economics of your own temple, because that's more community based, and Bahad is kind of a yeah, as I say, it's community based and not really policy based at the city level. Do you want to do this there, or do you want to take this up further into the governor's level of policy?
Yes.
Okay, that's off, right? That's a big step.
Yes.
So Yusuf says, all right, well, I guess we're going to go all the way. I'll talk to a guy who knows a guy, and we'll set up an appointment as soon as we can for you to talk to the economic the Secretary of the Economic Interior, or whatever it is they're called, who would be making decisions, big decisions about what can and come in, can and cannot come in. So therefore, it would be a little bit of a wait. Do you want to do anything in between time, in the day or two before that appointment? Because I just can't see that would happen.
No, of course.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable on that part.
Yeah.
He mentioned 2 guys, which basically expediting things is in units of guys. So it costs 2 guys to get this fast.
Yeah, but we're into architecture too.
Yes, you are.
So we want to do some sketches.
Right. Actually, and given that you have the Vahat background, you have access to records and things. Yeah, actually, this is again, this is not something that's going to be too terribly difficult at this point. But you can. Oh, this is what I want. God. Do you want to try to review any concepts, religious concepts, or anything like that accord with this as well? I mean, if you're thinking about the architecture, then religious iconography and legendary is part of that. They
more certainly.
That's chocolate and peanut butter.
More certainly.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, you're trying to remember this particular configuration and things like that. So if you're working on that, really shouldn't be too much trouble. We're going to do a roll to check on, yeah. my notes here. Okay, so therefore, the somewhat pragmatic community center of Vahad activity, which is not like a congregation where everybody comes, it's more like a community center where different activities occur, and it's mostly distinguished for its library. So that is this is the biggest repository of Vahad stuff anywhere. And so that's the key idea, is that there are plenty of places to read, plenty of places for discussions, plenty of places to propose ideas to others and things like that. So it has kind of an academic look compared to what you might think of as a temple. And so there's always some people there arguing over something. The stereotype of Vahad is that they, get two of them together, you have three opinions. So you have this chit chat, about the meaning of this and that.
Jews and Trotskyists.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'd say so. And Scientologists in this case, right? So then we also have this kind of a different. There's another interesting thing here. There's as you come in and are examining things, and I will say that we actually don't need a roll. So many things click together on that sheet of yours that there's really not even a roll necessary for you to say, this did exist, but it's not current. This was one of the earliest Vahad shrines that was built in what used to be just outside the city walls, but now, several walls later, is just a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So you know where, roughly, and you would think that, if it was still this active temple place, you would know about it. And even just a question or two, or looking up one or two things, you will find, yeah, that's discontinued, if you will, to the point of being forgotten. So you have more or less located where that thing would be, or would have been. There is another detail of what is happening. There is a fellow that you know, a very scholarly type, and quite wealthy, who might actually be one of the big backers of the temple's existence and subsidy. And he is here with a guest. And the guest is a man in a local robe that doesn't really fit him very well. And culturally is so not of the city. In fact, not even of one of the more common ethnicities or ethnic mixes of the city and its regions. He's tall. People in the city every range of complexion, but it's not as though you see somebody with quite his combination of the light brown, shaggy hair, the fair features, the kind of squarish forehead, the eyes that, as far as stereotypes in your culture, a person with these kinds of eyes, they might say he has dog's eyes. In the sense of those dogs like light blue or light white eyes, that you don't like the way they look at you. He has those kinds of eyes. So, he's behaving nicely and everything, and he speaks atrociously, but understandably. He's learned the language clearly. And the fellow is really proudly showing. He's wearing a circular badge that he has put onto the local clothing. And it has a stylized circle. It's not the same as the one you saw in the vision. It's cruder, if you will. It's much more simplified, but he's wearing one of those. Vahad is derived from that foreign. This is one of those guys. Yeah. And so And they're talking, about, circle stuff. And this is exciting. Other people are like, whoa, dude, right? Yes, there's a whole, there's the government, that region, by the way, has been blended back into the empire after a little disagreement. That's part of the whole Neo-Koveshian thing, and a lot of new territory was reacquired, and that region was in it. So there's apparently a visitation, right? A group of people who have come to the city, and this is their Kreis guy. They call it Kreis. This is their Kreis guy, and he knows, like, this is where it comes from, right? And so there's everybody's interested. So that's you've got a lot of privacy to examine your architecture while that discussion is going on.
So, of course, I want to listen.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Circling around.
well, the discussion is clearly going to jump around, and people will confuse each other several times. The somewhat purity notions of the Had, which is that you can apply this concept of focus and balance and where the motion of the universe is going, and go with that, become part of that, very intellectually to be applied to anything, seems to be a little different for this guy. He keeps talking about opposing forces, and he seems to have a rather violent take on the whole thing. That this is something that is a beacon of proactivity, of action, and and destruction of a foe. It's not really overly bellicose or aggressive. It's just that's where that seems to be the underlying assumption. So sometimes the discussion, they quickly, people realize they're talking about different things in some ways. But you're interested in the adversary that he's talking about? Yeah. Well, it's a destruction of everything. I mean, it's absolutely appalling. I mean, it's full of the most gaudy imagery of the undead, stalking the land, and of demons and angels who are worse than the demons, and
But is it like a calming or something?
is it a? Oh, I see. No, it's here.
Okay.
It's here.
It's here.
Yeah, we fight it.
Okay.
That's what the circle is for. Fights.
So it's if I understand, it's not a foe around us. It's just inside us, or in another dimension, or
He gets what you're asking. He asks a question and gets a quick translation. Turns and says something fairly roughly in his language to the fellow who has brought him, who looks a little offended, and he turns to you and says, yeah, he doesn't really want to talk to you. And this is actually, make a charm check, actually. Yeah, make a charm check. I don't want to override the rules here. I think you just made it, right?
6.
Yeah, 12. Just made it. Okay. He'll relent a little bit, and he'll say, we are dealing with the attackers. We are dealing with the destruction of our lands. This is not a joke. We are not struggling with ourselves.
Okay.
It is not a place of says a word, and it's filled in by the other contemplation. So yeah, there seems to be a bit of a clash of cultures, going on. But everybody's really, really interesting, and the guy is really, like, dangerously exotic looking, right? And that is collecting all sorts of interest. Somebody, word goes out into the neighborhood, and those who are inclined. it's kind of hard to find your way in this.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
So,
But I don't like it.
yeah.
No, it's not good for society.
No, it doesn't sound good at all.
No, no. It could be rumors and so on, and
Yeah.
people going crazy. We want stability.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go back to my